Hey everybody, it's Clear Blue Radiance. Today is Thursday, May the 7th. Good number, 2026. Today's topic is the light within you can never be extinguished. Well, I'm your host, Brother Francis E. Revels Bay. Today is a pre-recorded podcast. Got a lot going on, but it's all good. And I'd like to welcome you to watching this video whenever you want to. You could watch it on Resident Essentials YouTube channel, as well as my Circle of Grace 1 YouTube channel, anytime today after 1:30 p.m. And the time is getting close. Well, anyway, many of you may know that I've been a spiritual counselor for over 40, 45 plus years. I enjoy helping people such as yourself gain greater clarity in your own life. And hopefully, if you need any help in doing so, I could do that with you, as well as help you redefine your purpose. You know, our purpose changes as we change. Sometimes we're on one track for many years, and sometimes we're on another track for a shorter period of time. And so I'm here to help you have some internal balance with that and not worry so much. Now, look, we all worry about stuff. Even the greatest teachers tell you that they worry. Many of them. I just heard someone the other day who I basically admire, and he was talking about how he was out there teaching these science of mind principles. And then 2 or 3 days later, he would fall into a funk. And he would ask himself, well, wait a minute, I'm out there teaching this, writing these dissertations, basically, these sermons, being invited to talk, but not feeling like I am myself. He's being himself, his true, authentic self. Until one day, he woke up, couldn't find his notes, didn't create any new notes, and he had to go speak somewhere. And he showed up at that venue to speak without any notes in front of him. He spoke from his heart. And when he did that, everything went well. Then he found himself doing it again at another venue and another venue. But every now and then he would fall into this funk. But once he got over that, his own dark night of the soul, he was able to now present from his heart in an unconditional way. No judgment on himself, no judgment on those receiving the message through him, because he realized he was channeling on a different level. And he didn't have to feel like he was carrying a weight. He didn't have to feel like he was being perfect. What he was doing, what he was saying, in essence, he was being present. So that's why I'm coming out now doing a lot of pre recorded Clear Blue Radiance podcasts because I like to be present in the moment. Even though I have my notes, I'm going to try to follow these 2 pages worth of notes, but I'm also speaking from my heart to you at the same time. Now, when I go live, I do the same exact thing. So, again, welcome to Clear Blue Radiance. Well, today's topic is deep within you is light that can never be extinguished. Now, that was the first title that I came up with. But the more that I got into bringing some information together, and you're going to see me basically kind of almost read from my notes, I changed it to the light within you can never be extinguished. And you'll see by listening to this podcast. Now, keep in mind, you can share this podcast with anybody. You can go down into the share arrow and see the link for either Resonant Essentials YouTube channel or when you're on the Circle of Grace 1 YouTube channel. You can see that arrow, you can click on it, and you can decide how you want to send it out and share it with other people, and I hope you do. Well, the light within you is powerfully connected to divine source. That divine source is truly infinite. When we refer to divine source in a metaphysical sense, the I am presence, it is the same as many of you saying God, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Isa, and so forth. We're all talking about the same spirit. Your light is acquired through willingness to be focused. That's important. And coupled with discipline. That's equally important. You can't do this work without being focused and disciplined. That means you acquire self discipline because you're working on yourself. And again, you're not judging someone beyond yourself. You're not judging a family member, a parent, father, mother, granddad, grandmother, sister, brother, neighbor. Sometimes you might trip up and do it because what your ego gets in the way. And we don't want to like let the ego serve us in a way where we go off course. We always want to be present and be compassionate and be understanding because everybody goes through something. And I always say there's no perfect people here. We're all going. Every teacher, every metaphysical teacher on this planet is going through a change with themselves all the time. We're not perfect, but we're willing to step into the water, that metaphysical spiritual water, and go through it. Now, some of us swim smoothly. I don't know how to swim. So most cases, but hey, the beauty of it is knowing yourself, knowing what you can handle, and then allowing your higher self to make its presence known in you so that you ride on the waves of the higher self, the ups and the downs of the higher self. And every time you go up, you are rising out, you're being more liberated, but just as much as you go down, you're being liberated as well. You're getting away from your personal ego and you're beginning to align yourself with the divine ego, the divine I am presence, the higher self. So, what happens is all of this work, this alignment, is supported by your willingness to succeed with diligent effort. That means you put your foot in it, you get yourself in it, you roll up the sleeves, get up to here, and maybe up to here. But you go into some form of affirmative prayer from the heart, speak an affirmation or decree from the heart, meditate within from the heart. The light within you is based on frequencies. That's what you radiate out into the world. You have your internal world, which is vibratory, because the energy has to build up on the inside of you. You got to catch the consciousness of it first, the thought, the idea, the feeling. You got to feel it, as they say, deep down in the gut, deep down in the bones, deep down in the heart. You've got to feel it way down there, and it has to become a part of you. And so these frequencies are stemming from sound and light that are universal and proven through various scientists already, and so many others, that these frequencies influence us and our surroundings. Silence influences you. Hearing nothing at all can influence you, can impact you. And if you're not, as they say, of the right mind, you might think something's wrong. You might think something's wrong because you don't hear anything. Have you been in locate? This is why people move out on farms, want to have a farm. Why? Because they no longer want to be in a place where there's so much noise. They want to be in a place where they feel that they're gathering the light within themselves. Now, you got to be able to see. So, one of the things that happens is our well being is being impacted from silent and audible tones, and often through our expressions, external expressions such as heat in the body or heat on the body, and our intent, which is our will. You have the ability to reflect and direct light by going within your heart center and moving that energy form of light upward within you. When people practice hatha yoga and other forms of yoga, at some point they're meeting up with the Pingala, which is the right brain, and the Ida, Ida, which is the left brain. But those channels, that braided energy of the Kundalini, is way down at the pelvis region, the root. On the right side, the right pole down there, braided energy, is the Pingala, the sun. And the other side, to balance it, is the Ida, IDA. IDA is the lunar, the feminine energy, the yin force, where Pingala, Pingala, is the solar type energy, the yang force, the masculine energy, where Ida is feminine energy. So when these weave and dance around each other, when they become braided around each other, when they're guided together, they go into the inner channel of the spinal column. And that's known as the Sushmana. Not many people can get it in there. And it's not easy. And I'll mention something about that a little later. Here's something that you should be aware of, that when you're moving this energy upward in your body, it never ceases to be, but can change form. That means it never stops being itself. It's authentic, it's organic. It never stops being itself. You can draw light to yourself as well. The light outside of yourself, you can pull that in energetically, and it does pass through you into the pores of your skin, inside your body, through your eyes, through the nasal passage, through your mouth. Energy is moving in and out of us quickly. Here's something else. This light is shared by all. All of us share this light. For it is what? Electromagnetic. Both electric and magnetic. Pingala, electric. Ida, magnetic. Now, these particles of light are conscious, and this particle of light, more than one, communicates with each other. This ability to communicate makes it organic by nature. By nature means it's truth, it's organic, it's alive. It's not just some flat thing like a piece of paper here. No, it's alive energy, electrical, magnetic, and you can feel it. Do you know that plants that are known to be outdoor plants automatically go straight up, right? And reach out because their photonic energy, the chlorophyll energy, is in relationship, has a communication with the solar rays. If people go to a nursery, right, to buy plants, and they said, well, I want to get an indoor plant. That means it's going to catch some sunlight, and some plants need a cool space. They need more shade than anything else, so they catch more of the lunar light. They kind of lean, they kind of grow according to that magnetic lunar light, where other plants automatically lean toward the light. Why? Because they're feeling that electrical energy and the photons coming from the sun. And what we also are aware of, we are, those of us here in human form, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We are also connected to the solar rays as well. People who practice solar gazing, I used to do it a lot. Did it with a group online, with Facebook. I did it even before the Facebook group that I found, because I was already looking into it as far back as 2006, 7, and 8. I was already doing my research, but I couldn't understand how it was to be done. Got with the group, learned some techniques, and then some things happened that was supposed to happen that was very positive and very energetically real. Then eventually I told to my higher self, time to go now. You can you learn what you were supposed to learn. You did what you were supposed to do within that short period of time of about 2015 to 2016. August 2015, July 2015, all the way to December 2016. You learned what you were supposed to learn. Now you remember what it is to be in touch with the particles, photonic particles of the sun and the great central sun. And everybody is going and come from that group. Well, here's what happens. We develop a unique relationship, a unique connection with the sun. And as you feel it, you begin to feel the spirit of the sun, which then communicates with you directly. And here's the funny thing. I always say the funny thing, I shouldn't really say that. But what it is that you feel the presence of the sun. You feel as that you're communicating with the sun. And in some sense, you are communicating with the sun. Do you know that people experience seasonal depression? That means when it's the winter time and they have to be indoors, they go out, but it's not as sunny as it is summertime. Some people are born in the winter months because that's what they need. They need that winter time to be a strong personality. People are born in the springtime. They need that time because they need to have the feeling of youth, starting out. People are born in the summertime because they need to feel that need for longevity and excitement and inspiration. And some people are born in the fall or autumn, right? Because they need to feel that moment of recess. These things are important to realize and to remind us that we have special goals. And our special goals are along these lines. Our goal or goals is to remember that we are an integral part of the universal light that gives us light. We have to begin to realize that we're not separated from the light. We are from the sun, literally. Many of us have that remembrance of living in the sun, not just this one, beyond this one, in other galactic regions, as I would say. You start having a remembrance. Even as a child, you used to look up at the stars. There was no accident. You used to lay on the grass on a blanket with your friends and look up at the heavens, especially on a very warm night. Or you sat out on a porch. and you looked up into the sky. You felt an automatic connection, even when it was distant, you still felt it. So, what you realize is that your wisdom and your grace and your light that nourish your spirit, nourishes your soul, nourishes the higher self, has you in some alignment with it. You have to feel aligned, connected, right in line. Alignment, the mind has to be aligned first. All the great teachers say it. Those that are on the side of the veil and those in the light, they say you must develop the consciousness first, the understanding of the light first. Then you begin to embody the light because you understand what that light can do for you and how you're interacting with the particles of light within your body. You know, we are such powerful beings that we can sometimes mimic the light, but most of all realize that the presence of this light is embedded deep inside of ourselves. Your cells, trillions of cells in your body, coming and going throughout your lifetime on this planet, has electromagnetic field, has certain amount of volts that if your body is in true alignment to itself, and you can feel the life force energy flow through your body, better known as chi, ki, prana, then what happens is you start looking more youthful. Your skin smooths out. Little age spots begin to go away. No more stiffness in the ligaments in your body. The blood flows better in your body. The trace minerals become healthier because you're taking supplements, but you might have some gemstones, you might have some metals worn close to your body or carried by you. It enhances the trace mineral within your body. Do you know if you're attracted, as an example, I'm attracted to a lot of selenite. So obviously, my body, the selenium inside of me, is in need of selenium in my presence. It's all over my residence. My living room, my bedroom, my bathroom, I got one in there on top of the cabinets in the kitchen. I got selenite sitting up there. I got selenite to the right, selenite to the left, and behind me. And I'm wearing some because the body is calling for it. Body calls for copper, copper trace mineral in your system. So you start to wear some copper. Everything inside of us is connected to everything outside of this. There's a true communication that's going on. Our chi carries the same light deep within our bodies. In the Kabbalistic studies, our heart symbolizes the sun. In martial arts, the word Shen, Shen, means spirit, and it's felt that the heart is the infinite source of that same energetic light in the martial arts called Shen, which is spirit. They say the spirit of the warrior is the Shen. How much Shen does that warrior have? How much chi does that warrior have, man or woman, have flowing through their body 24/7? This never gets extinguished. This is a true light that's infinite, that never gets extinguished, but it will return to its source when it's time for you to transition, or may visit the source when you are deeply asleep. A part of you goes to the great central sun as the higher self and returns. Shen, which is spirit of infinite light, we carry it even when we speak it, even when we're thinking it. It's a form of spirit, of shen, of chi, of ki, of prana, energetic light. That is why when we choose to communicate in the written, spoken, and in symbolism, that energy can be felt through pure intention. Someone receives your letter, they can tell if you are angry, not just by the way you write, but they can feel the energy embedded in the ink, in the pressure on the page. Something's off. Person's angry, or person's joyful and happy. Children paint and draw what they see. They feel excited. And you can see it in their crayon work, in their drawing. As I said earlier, even in the Hindu system of yoga, that light is seen in the right channel of the right brain as Pingala, Pingala, the masculine energy, the active energy, heat, activity, fire. And the left channel is in the left brain as Ida, calming spirit, feminine energy. Pingala, masculine energy, yang energy. Pingala energy, calming energy, yin force, magnetism. This is truly natural, but should not be taken lightly. And I'm going to say this over and over again. There's groups on Facebook selling these programs saying, awaken your Kundalini. Got to be careful. Maybe they have a system because they want to awaken the Kundalini. That's the serpentine energy. That's the braided energy of fire and water coming together, lunar and solar energy coming together, electromagnetic energy braided together around the spine and traveling up Sushmana. And guess what? If you're not prepared to handle the fire, you ever heard that phrase? Get out the kitchen if you can't handle the heat. You're not going to be able to get out of this kitchen. You make one mistake, make one mistake, and that chi, that fire energy, the serpentine energy, will start going in the wrong places. It'll go into the weakest parts of your body. It will burn a hole through the lining of your organs, burn a hole in your muscles, char your bones out, the marrow, if it's not done right. That means you need to sit with a master. So anybody, I don't want to like condemn it too much, but what I want to say, this is most important. If you go into that program, make sure those people have mastered theirs. Make sure those teachers have a considerable amount of experience. You might say, well, how many types of experience? People say, well, you don't have to meditate for years like a monk. You can do it like that. Yeah, you can do like that through the frequencies. But frequency is frequency. The frequency is energy. And energy is what? Chi, ki, prana, spirit, but a different flow. And if that person cannot help you when something was laying dormant in your system is awakened, that person gets charged with you getting hurt. This is not to be played with. This is something that we have to give deep, deep research and respect to. It's important, very important. You see, I've seen people do it the wrong way, have nobody around them to help them. I've seen them lose weight drastically. In 6 months, an ex-partner of mine, a woman, I don't want to put her name out. I'll just say G was her original name. Then it was changed to a spiritual East Indian name starting with an H. But here's the deal. I remember her telling me when we were dating for about a year or two that finally cancer went into remission because she was doing a lot of energetic healing work. Then she met this teacher who makes a lot of money, traveling back and forth to India and has a penthouse in Los Angeles and New York City. Well, she had to go from New Jersey to New York City because he was teaching her, she was one of the devout followers, how to flash your light, flash your aura, make it pop out. Well, most people can do that. I've done that a little bit myself. But here's the key. If you have a dis-ease, an imbalance happening in your system and it's still there, you did not get it out, what happens? It's like striking a match. And now this fire is gradually raging through the body, through your nervous system. That's what happened to my partner during that time. This is after we had broken up. I'm sorry we kind of broke up because had a chance maybe to speak over the phone with her from the hospital, getting together with friends and praying for her. Lit the match. The chi went haywire in her body, ignited the dormant cells of cervical cancer. She began to lose weight over some 6 months and passed away, transitioned to the day after her 57th birthday, gone into the light, in pain, whole body ridden with pain, whole body shriveled up, just like you see these some of these pictures of the monks, right? Preserving their bodies. And then they get real thin and real thin. Her friend said she got very thin. And where was the master teacher? Nowhere to be found. Everybody else was in touch with her, including myself, but him, pretended like he couldn't be contacted. In the air. No, he chose not to come to Manhattan and stayed out of the city. She was in one of those hospitals in Manhattan, and her family had to watch her transition. And perhaps that may have been the contract, the plan between the both of them. I'm not here to judge that contract, but just to hear and know that he chose not to come back and be supportive to her. That's not good. So you can't play with this light. This we all possess it. It all sits like a coiled up serpent around the 8 vertebrae of the spine, right down there with the tailbone. Now you might ask, have you ever experienced it, Brother Francis? Well, if you read my first book, I have it behind me. I talk about the Shaktipa, the Shaktipa, Sha, S-H-A, Sha, T, K-T-I, P-A-T. What is that? The Shaktipa is when a guru, not too far from you, either in the same room or hundreds of miles away, looks at a picture of you or is in front of you and is able to ignite the beginning of your kundalini, the serpentine energy, to go around the spine in the center of the spine and travel all the way up. Does this happen overnight? No, it doesn't. Does this happen over years? Yes, it does. And when is your time? And only when it's your time. It's different from person to person. Eventually, it ignites the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, like spark plugs. And when they have enough vibratory energy happening inside the body, you feel it up in the brain. All that heat, all that chi coursing through the folds and the nerves of the brain. And along the way, you are changing. Not everybody's having a happy, happy, joy, joy moment. Many people are going through pain. Many people, I've seen people burn from the inside, the whole body so dry, just like a match lit up, chi burning through, creating gray spots, red patches on their skin. They can't control. Doctors can't control it. Why? Because the chi is running wild. I knew a person who taught Kundalini yoga up in Harlem. I was 27 at the time, I believe, if I look at this. Yeah, I was about 27. And this person was about 20 years older than myself. And he got the permission from his Kundalini teacher to teach Kundalini, but there was something off with his body. And eventually, he had to be admitted to a hospital. None of his friends or students could visit, only, of course, family members. But we found out he's burning up on the inside. Why? Because the serpentine energy stayed in the area way too long, stayed in the lower chakras way too long, literally burning him from the inside out. They said he was laying in the bed and they could see, the doctors are putting ointments on, his skin was getting gray. And then they're sitting there and they smell something and they could see the smoke on his skin. He's burning from the inside on one limb. This is no joke. People need to find someone who could teach them. Now, can I give you a Shaktipat ceremony? No. I'm going through mine. Took me 11 years to have the experience of seeing the cells in the brain within the inner eye. I went through it about twice. But you got to go up and just like a fire person on a pole, you got to slide down, chakra by chakra. Breakthroughs and a breaking down. Then breakthroughs and then another breaking down. Some people have it once. I've had it more than once, about twice. It's not an easy ride. It's not that fun either. Because as you go through those different states of that light, which cannot be destroyed, cannot be extinguished, it just changes forms as it's going through your body. You lose friends, you lose family members, you lose mates, you lose people who are closer than that, maybe a couple of co-workers, maybe people in your neighborhood say, hey man, there's something wrong with that person. They seem to be so moody. I look at their eyes, it's like all this energy I can feel, but I feel like they're like out of it, like they're drunk on something. These things happen. It's not fun and games. As my colleague, spiritual colleague, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want people to think it this in a negative way, but I'll just use the word and giggles. is not as fun as people think it is. It's a chore. It's work. It can cause people to fall off into the great abyss of shadow work and never get done, but fall backwards in the shadow work because now they're living in a state of fear, shock, and trauma. So before people attempt to join these programs, oh, and awaken your Kundalini, you better do some research. You better find out what happens, what are the side effects of that. Just like you get medication, pills. There's such a thing called a Merck manual, MERCK manual, and every drug that's on the market. It gives you its chemical name, scientific name, and the name that you know it by, and it tells you what it's going to do right in your system, and then it tells you the fallout. And sometimes doctors may not be aware, or sometimes they are. They're not treating the illness anymore, they're treating the side effect because that's more prevalent than the actual core disease itself. Now they got to get that under control first. So these things are happening all the time. We need the infinite light. We do. And we must learn their proper tools and channels so that one can experience this light correctly. This is why you got to do research, why you got to read, why you got to study different ways of approaching it. Well, the light within, you can never extinguish, never put it out. The light within you can never be extinguished. Let me say that properly. The light within you can never be extinguished. So thank you for opening up this link and listening to this pre recorded podcast. There's a lot packed in here, as simple as it was said. Off my notes, read most of my notes. Not that easy. But you got to understand, you're in touch with the light of this universe on a greater scale all the time. All your cells are communicating with each other, and the petals within your chakras are communicating with the cells. And everything is talking to you. Everything. Animals, plants, insects, the wind, the water, the fire, and the earth, and the ethers. Everything is having a communication with you. And you have to do the work. You have to study. Well, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels Bay. I'm the host and founder of Clear Blue Radiance. I'm the founder of the Circle Grace One, established on July 2nd, 1974, and then took 25 more years to get it firmly out into the public. On July 2nd, 1999. Circle Grace 1 is named after the first Grace in my life, and that's my biological mother who's on the other side. I refer to her as Mother Grace because her name is Grace V. Delaney. Her family name, Revels, married to my dad. You say, I get the B-E-Y. Well, that's another story, another history, another lesson. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels Bay. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. I look forward to doing some more of these pre recorded podcasts, but also at the same time, coming back and doing something live every now and then. Take care. Have a good day. See you real soon.